So here are the foods that you should be eating for your PCOS. Hi, my name is Despina Pavlou. I'm a certified personal trainer and the founder of PCOS Oracle, where I talk about all things PCOS and how to reverse it naturally. So if that's what you're looking for, then consider subscribing. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload a new video. In today's video, I want to share with you some of these foods for PCOS because I commonly get asked, what food should I be eating for PCOS? What foods will cure my PCOS? How should I be eating? What's the best diet or should I be avoiding? First off, there is no cure for PCOS, but you can reverse the symptoms. So when it comes to treating PCOS, hormonal balance, it doesn't come down to eliminating a food group. It doesn't come down to taking the birth control pill or losing weight. Hormonal balance requires us to address many different factors within the body, different components. And I spoke about this in an Instagram post, and if you're not following me, you should be. It's at PCOS Oracle, link in the description box down below. But we need to be balancing our blood sugar levels, supporting our thyroid, supporting the liver, supporting the gut, and making sure that our minerals in the body are balanced. This very common for mineral imbalances to be occurring in the body, and this puts a lot of kind of functions and processes in the body out of whack and can cause a lot of symptoms that we experience. So as you'll see through all of these foods that I will be breaking down, they're addressing a lot of those components I've just spoken about. And through eating these foods on this whiteboard, you can help reverse those symptoms, balance your hormones, and boost your metabolism and just thrive in life. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video and start with number 1 on the list. So the first food on our list is coconut oil. Now, coconut oil, I know everyone's like, coconut oil, that's saturated fat. We've been programmed to think saturated fat is bad and unsaturated, polyunsaturated fats are more healthier, but that's just not true. That's not the case. So just hear me out. So fatty acids are chains of carbon. They are carbon by carbon linked in a chain, and on either sides they have hydrogen atoms. If they have one hydrogen atom on each side, they're called saturated because they have no room for any more. They're saturated with hydrogen. Whereas this chain is unsaturated. Double bonds can react with an enzyme, oxygen and heat, and can be oxidized, creating a chemical reaction. And this is why unsaturated fats are more sensitive to oxygen, heat and light. Coconut oil is different to other fats because it is a medium chain triglyceride and they are digested differently. So medium chains are 8 to 10 carbons long, and so the shorter that they are, the quicker they are broken down and metabolized in the body. So the shorter that the chain is, the quicker the enzymes can chop them up, but also the digestion is different. So it goes through one of two ways. One is through the lymph system, another way is straight into the blood. And if it's absorbed straight into the blood, it goes through a system called the portal vein. For example, with coconut oil, it is sent straight to the liver via the portal vein, and it avoids digestion and it's broken down more rapidly by the liver. So like I said, saturated fats like coconut oil are more stable, unlike unsaturated fats like polyunsaturated fats or vegetable oils are unstable when exposed to heat and light. So here's the thing, the average body temperature is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit and we are constantly exposed to sunlight. So when we cook or eat unsaturated fats, PUFAs, oxidation occurs and this creates free radicals which then leads to inflammation in the body. Unlike polyunsaturated fats, coconut oil is more stable, it doesn't go rancid or oxidize, so it's not going to spoil and cause all this oxidization in the body, causing inflammation. Short and medium chain fatty acids sustain blood sugar levels and protect the mitochondria from stress damage. But unsaturated fats cause a decrease in blood sugar in at least 3 ways. The first is that it damages mitochondria. It causes respiration to be uncoupled from energy production. What this means is that fuel is being burned without useful effect. So the mitochondria is not producing the usual amount of ATP. The second is that it suppresses the activity of the respiratory enzyme. Now, all metabolic reactions in the body are controlled by a protein molecule called an enzyme. These enzymes catalyze and control the rate at which respiration occurs. The third is that it tends to direct carbohydrates into fat production. So let's jump and take a look at further benefits of coconut oil for PCOS and general hormonal balance. And the first is that coconut oil is pro-thyroid. Researchers have found around 25% of women with PCOS suffer from a thyroid condition. Notably, this thyroid condition is hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism is where the thyroid is underactive, meaning it's not producing enough of the thyroid hormone. Now, the thyroid is an organ that is often referred to as the hormone powerhouse. So the thyroid is involved in many functions in the body, including metabolism, ovulation, heart rate. When that becomes slow, then a lot of other things begin to slow down too. A few years ago, coconut oil was, the go-to. It was promoted as a health food. Everybody was buying it as it was a superfood. It's great. And then, maybe a year later or a few years later, it's now demonized. It said, don't be consuming saturated fat, don't eat coconut oil because it increases cholesterol, blah, 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 all this and that. But here's the thing, evidence shows that coconut oil is pro-thyroid, and when it's included into the diet, it helps to lower cholesterol to normal levels by supporting the conversion into pregnenolone. A healthy functioning thyroid helps to lower cholesterol levels by supporting the conversion into hormones and bile salts. And when we're looking at the fact that coconut oil can increase cholesterol levels, when we look at cultures in the tropics, the Polynesians, they have lower cholesterols compared to people in the United States of America who pretty much don't have coconut oil and follow more unsaturated fat diet where they're more stocking up on vegetable oils, your sunflower, rapeseed, canola oil kind of oils. So these kind of cultures have consistently lower levels of cholesterol, and then you come to think, maybe it's not the coconut oil. Coconut oil can also boost the metabolism, and this benefit goes in line with the fact that it's pro-thyroid. As I mentioned, unsaturated fats cause oxidative stress and cause damage to the mitochondria and inhibit thyroid function. In contrast, however, consumption of coconut oil activates the metabolism, protects the mitochondria from stress damage, so it can boost metabolism and increase energy because it's more likely to be burned as fuel rather than being stored as fat. This follows on from the point mentioned in the beginning, where it's because medium chain fatty acids are shorter in carbon chains, that they can be chopped up quickly and be sent straight into the blood to the liver, where they'll be rapidly broken down and used as fuel. Because of the boost in metabolism, it can also help with weight loss. In the 1940s, farmers used a cheap coconut oil to fatten up their animals. But they actually found that their animals got lean, and they were active and more hungry. So since polyunsaturated fats inhibit thyroid function, coconut oil can promote thyroid function by merely minimizing those toxic effects, like suppressing the respiratory enzymes, damaging the mitochondria, maintaining blood sugar levels, and energy being created straight away into the liver without being digested. So it's recommended to use refined coconut oil. This is because the fibers have been removed, making it easier to digest and less of an irritant to the gut. So start slow and add a teaspoon a day. Each week, add another until you get to about 1 to 2 tablespoons, but pay close attention to how you feel. For example, you may notice an increase in your pulse rate when you're consuming more coconut oil, as because of the pro-thyroid, the boost in the metabolic rate, in which the coconut oil is the increase in thyroid is compensating for the antithyroid substances of unsaturated fats, and as a result, more thyroid hormone is secreted, which can lead to a higher pulse rate, and then oftentimes this can end up decreasing. You might notice hypothyroidism signs. This is because your body is adjusting to adapted to removing those unsaturated fats from the cells, and so it doesn't require to be producing a lot of the thyroid hormone like it was, in order to be, eliminating those, to be, fighting those anti-thyroid substances, these unsaturated fats. Also pay attention to your stool. If you're noticing changes to your stool, visual appearance, then cut back. The second food on our list is carrots. Now, carrots are a great little snack, but they do have tons of great benefits. And the benefit I really want to speak about today is that it binds to endotoxins and estrogen and eliminates them from the body. Removal of estrogen is important to avoid that recirculation, which can in turn lead to high estrogen levels and estrogen dominance symptoms, such as PMS, infertility, PCOS, endometriosis, aging, degenerative organs. The best way to consume your raw carrots is through a raw carrot salad. The raw carrot salad, inspired by Ray Peat, involves grating a carrot lengthwise, adding some vinegar, coconut oil and salt. Obviously, the added coconut oil provides those benefits mentioned previously, and the vinegar intensifies the bowel cleansing of the salad. It's best to eat carrots on an empty stomach before you eat a meal, and this is because the carrot fibers can impact nutrient absorption and cause hyperglycemia. So that's why it's best to have them on an empty stomach, and preferably midday or afternoon. The third food is mushrooms, and this is similar to the benefits of a carrot, is that it helps lower estrogen, endotoxin and nitric oxide. And when mushrooms are well cooked, they're able to move along the intestine. And because of the similarities with raw carrots in that they can bind with toxins and disinfect the bowel, it's a great food to help with small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, also known as SIBO. Mushrooms are also a high source of quality protein, and so if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, then stocking up on some mushrooms, adding them in, cooking them and adding them into your food can be a great way to increase the source of protein in your food. Make sure before eating your mushrooms, that you cook them well for around 1 to 3 hours. This is because mushrooms contain toxic compounds, and so you want to make sure that they are cooked well before consuming. The fourth food is gelatin and bone broth. So gelatin involves boiling animal body parts to extract the collagen, while bone broth is simply boiling animal bones to create a broth. When the bones are cooked, the collagen minerals, glucosamine and glycosaminoglycans, are extracted from the connective tissue into the water. Now, some of the benefits of gelatin include improved digestion, heals the gut lining, decreased joint inflammation, increased insulin sensitivity, which is great for women with PCOS who around 70% of women with PCOS suffer from insulin resistance. Increased insulin sensitivity can be really beneficial. Improved level of detoxification, stabilize the blood sugar, which is super important, not just for PCOS, but in general. We have to be maintaining healthy blood sugar levels. Improve skin, hair and nails. Like collagen, as you may know, collagen can help with brittle nails, dry skin. This is because collagen makes up 25 to 35% of all protein in the human body, and it is the main structural component in all connective tissue. Now, there are inflammatory amino acids and anti-inflammatory amino acids. Gelatin contains anti-inflammatory amino acids. These are the ones you want to be consuming more of, and they include glycerine, alanine, hydroxyproline and proline. Some of the benefits of glycerine is this used in the synthesis of heme. This is the protein in the blood that carries oxygen. The second benefit is that it is used to synthesize creatine. This is needed to supply energy to the heart and muscle cells. But don't take glycerin by itself. It's best to consume acids in the natural form altogether. So if you're going to want to get these anti-inflammatory benefits, you're better off consuming gelatin or drinking bone broth. The fifth food is fruit. Now, I've spoken many times about fruit and how fruit isn't bad for PCOS and that you can eat fruit if you want, and I recommend that you do because fruit is not bad. I have a whole video on fruit, and I've previously spoken about fruit in numerous videos, which I'll have a card here where I speak about fruit. But fruit is fructose, which is the natural sugar found in fruit, is more thermogenic than glucose, and it has little effect on blood sugar. And researchers found that fructose can increase insulin sensitivity and improve glucose metabolism. And you don't have to fear fructose because of weight gain. In order for fructose to be converted into weight gain, it goes through a process of de novo lipogenesis, but in humans it's about 2%. So you'd have to eat a lot of fruit, a lot of fructose to be worried about that. So eat a fruit, don't fear fructose. Moving on to number 6 on the list is white potato. And no, potatoes are not bad for PCOS. You don't have to avoid them. You don't have to fear potatoes or fear carbs. White potatoes are great. They have numerous vitamins and minerals. One medium white potato contains 28% of your RDA or vitamin C. It contains 12% of your RDI of magnesium. It contains vitamin D, vitamin K, vitamin B6, calcium, potassium, choline, phosphorus, copper, iron, zinc, folate, phosphorus, tons of vitamins and minerals. White potato is high in protein. Potato keto acids are equivalent to essential amino acids, and in the body, ammonia is added to keto acids, turning them into amino acids. But make sure you combine your white potato, your potatoes, or any kind of carb with a protein to help balance your blood sugar levels. So don't be afraid of white potatoes. You can, bake them, roast them, boil them, mash them. It's just such a versatile food, and they just taste delicious. You can make chips out of potatoes. They're just why avoid them? Why? And for those wondering why about sweet potatoes, the main reason is it's not to say you can't have sweet potatoes. It's just because they are high in beta carotene that you would only want to eat it here and there. But because sweet potatoes don't have beta carotene, it's fine to consume. The 7th food is liver. Now, liver or organ meats are not something many people are used to consuming. I've pretty much been growing up on consuming organ meats like liver, so this is not like a oh that's gross kind of thing to me. But liver is amazing. It's a nutritional powerhouse. Liver is a cholesterol-rich food, and there's again this fear around eating cholesterol-rich food because we think that so if we eat a high cholesterol food, then that's automatically increases our cholesterol levels in the blood in the body. But this is not the case. So like I said in the coconut oil section, we need cholesterol, number one, to be digesting cholesterol, but also, like I said, to be creating hormones. Liver is a great source of protein. It contains 25 grams in a 4-ounce serving. Liver is also a great source of vitamin D, E, K, folate, choline, vitamin B6, vitamin A and B12. Liver is also a great source of calcium, phosphorus, copper, iron, zinc, magnesium and selenium. And for those of you worried about the high iron content, if you've heard about iron overload and listened to my podcast interview with Lauren de la Cruz, liver is higher in copper, and copper can help regulate iron, so that's not something to worry about. Dietary cholesterol is also the primary way we get vitamin A. So there are 2 forms of vitamin A, preformed A versus provitamin A. Now, preformed vitamin A is mostly found in animals. It is found in foods like liver, egg yolks. Preformed vitamin A is more bioavailable, and absorption and storage of vitamin A is more efficient. Provitamin A is found in plants, and there are different types of provitamin A, but beta-carotene is the only one that is metabolized by mammals and turns into vitamin A. Provitamin A is a precursor to vitamin A, but it needs to be converted into retinol in order to be utilized by the body. And it takes 12 units of beta-carotene to yield 1 serving of retinol. Also, too much carotenoid can suppress the thyroid and increase pathogens. And it's also not recommended to be supplementing with a synthetic vitamin A, as this is more toxic to the body. So, opting for your provitamin A through eating food sources like liver. A lot of people they tend to avoid liver because they have this idea that liver is toxic, because the liver is the major organ that's involved in detoxification. They often think the liver is toxic, but this is where people are wrong. Yes, the liver is your main detoxifying organ, but the liver does not store these toxins. It neutralizes the toxins and then eliminates them. Most toxins are actually stored in fat tissue. The liver is actually a great storage of vitamins and minerals. And that's why it's such a nutritional powerhouse, because it stores vitamins and minerals. It doesn't store toxins. It's recommended to choose grass-fed beef liver over any other kind of liver like chicken or pork. This is because grass-fed beef liver contains more B6, more B12, zinc and phosphorus. Grass-fed pasture ruminant animals, because they have less polyunsaturated fats and are more rich in vitamins. So they are a better source of vitamin A and vitamin E, which helps combat lipid peroxidation. It's recommended to eat liver once a week, around 3 to 6 ounces. And this is because liver is high in these inflammatory amino acids I mentioned. Before that, there's these anti-inflammatory and inflammatory. Well, liver is actually high in the inflammatory amino acid tryptophan. So eating too much can actually inhibit thyroid function and increase inflammation. If you're not a fan of actually eating the liver, you can buy desiccated liver capsules as a supplement. The 8th food is eggs. Now, again, like many of these foods on this list, there's this debate of don't eat eggs because they're high in cholesterol. Don't eat eggs, they're fine. It's just way too much. But like I said, with the whole liver and the coconut with cholesterol isn't bad. So you can eat your eggs. Eggs are a complete protein. The egg whites are 100% protein, while the egg yolks contain the fat and the cholesterol. Now, the egg whites are high in inflammatory amino acids, including tryptophan, cysteine, and methionine. So consuming just the egg white alone, which is very popular, a lot of people just buy egg whites. In the fitness industry, we're bombarded with just eat the egg whites because it's high in protein. It's obviously not going to be recommended because you're increasing the inflammatory amino acids that you're consuming. It can eventually lead to digestive issues, inflammation, and just a slower metabolism. So the whole egg will offer a whole better balance of amino acids and better nutrients overall. But unfortunately, not all eggs are created equally. On the list is fish. Now, I know a lot of people aren't really a fan of fish, but fish is super nutrient dense. Now, I have broken up this food into 2 parts. One is shellfish and the other is low-fat fish. So shellfish includes fish like mussels, clams, oysters, crab, lobster, shrimps, and scallops. Now, shellfish is high in protein and a great source of vitamins and minerals. It's a great source of vitamins like A, C, D, E, and a really great source of vitamin B12. It's also a great source of zinc, copper, magnesium, selenium, and iron. Now, when it comes to fish, a lot of people are worried about the mercury content, but the FDA have said that Shellfish is low in mercury, so eating it 1 to 2 times a week is perfectly fine, and up to a serving size of 12 ounces a week. Low-fat fish options include tilapia, cod, sole, and whitefish. Again, great source of protein and a great source of the B vitamins and selenium. The final food on the foods for PCOS list is cacao. Now, I have a whole video on the benefits of chocolate for PCOS, and I speak about the benefits of dark chocolate of cacao in that video. You can click the card here. So some of the main things I want to mention is that cacao is a source of magnesium and antioxidants. Now, magnesium, I want to mention that magnesium is a super important mineral and it's the first mineral that actually gets depleted when we're stressed. And, as we all know, stress is chronically high for a lot of us. So making sure that we are adding magnesium back into our diets, whether it's, through nutrient-dense foods like these, or using a supplement. For example, I recommend magnesium oil, magnesium chloride. I'll have a link to the magnesium I personally use in the description box down below. Cacao is also saturated fat, and it contains stearic acid, which has been shown to lower cholesterol. Raw cacao powder is the best source of cacao, and if you are choosing, what's the best dark chocolate bar I should be buying, then you want to make sure that it's got minimal ingredients. It's just got cacao, it's got vanilla, and it's got sugar and salt. Nothing else. No artificial substances, no artificial flavors, colors, preservatives, nothing. Just those simple 4 ingredients. So that's the end of the video. I really hoped that this video helped, and you're going to go ahead and try these 10 foods for PCOS. This is to promote your thyroid, boost your metabolism, balance your hormones. I really hope that you gained some value and found this beneficial. So thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to give it a like, comment if you enjoyed this video. Let me know which foods you're going to add to your list, and share the video and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.